Have you ever stopped to consider what truly sets apart the men who deeply embrace intimate acts with their wives, particularly in the realm of oral intimacy? Imagine uncovering a profound truth, not only about physical connection but about the emotional depth such acts create. You're about to hear a story that transcends mere physicality and taps into the heart of what it means to truly honor and cherish a partner. Stay with us until the end, because this journey unveils wisdom passed down through generations. Wisdom that can transform how you connect with your loved one. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Your support means a lot, so if you find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up to help spread our message. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. Have you ever stopped to consider what might set apart the men who fully embrace intimate acts with their wives, particularly in the realm of oral intimacy? Imagine being on the cusp of discovering a profound truth, one that not only speaks to the physical connection but also to the deep emotional bonds that such acts create. You're about to hear a story that unveils wisdom passed down through the ages, wisdom that transcends mere physicality and taps into the heart of what it means to truly honor and cherish one's partner. Let me take you to the heart of an ancient city, where the cobblestone streets echoed with stories from centuries past. This city, bathed in golden sunlight, was a place where people still sought the counsel of the wise. And there, among the narrow alleyways and bustling market stalls, lived a woman named Donna Carmen. She wasn't just any woman, she was revered by everyone who crossed her path. Her silver hair shimmered in the sunlight, and her gentle yet piercing eyes held the weight of countless secrets, stories, and insights into the human condition. People of all ages, from young lovers to the elderly, would come to her, drawn by her almost mystical understanding of love and relationships. On one particular afternoon, as the sun bathed the city in warmth and the sound of cathedral bells rang through the air, a young couple nervously approached Donna Carmen. The man, holding his wife's hand tightly, was filled with uncertainty but also curiosity. After exchanging shy glances, he finally found the courage to speak. "Senora," he began, his voice tinged with both hesitation and hope, "we've heard many things about intimacy between a husband and wife, but there's one question that lingers in my heart. Is there something truly special, something sacred, about men who engage in oral intimacy with their wives? Does it change the way they connect?" If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Donna Carmen's eyes twinkled as a knowing smile crossed her face. She paused for a moment, allowing the weight of his question to settle in the air. What followed was a revelation, not just an answer, but an exploration of the true essence of love, respect, and emotional intimacy. In her wise, soft voice, Donna Carmen explained that when a man engages in such acts with genuine love and care, it speaks volumes about his willingness to place his partner's needs and desires at the forefront of their relationship. It's not simply a physical act, but a profound expression of love, trust, and selflessness. In that moment, the man is saying without words, "Your pleasure, your happiness, is as important to me as my own." Her words stirred something deep within the couple. They realized that the intimacy she spoke of was not just about the physical connection but about a deeper emotional bond, one that fosters trust, vulnerability, and mutual respect. Donna Carmen continued, sharing how these acts create a sacred space where partners can connect on a level far beyond the surface. It's where true love lives, where a man shows his willingness to nurture, to care for, and to truly understand his wife. As she finished speaking, the couple felt as though a veil had been lifted. They understood that intimacy, especially in its most personal and loving forms, is a reflection of the emotional and spiritual connection between two people. It's about mutual respect, tenderness, and a love that is as giving as it is receiving. In the warm glow of that afternoon, the couple walked away with a renewed sense of their love for one another, holding hands a little tighter, smiling a little brighter. They had come with a question about physical intimacy, but they left with a deeper understanding of what it truly means to love and honor someone in every sense of the word. This story reminds us that true intimacy is about so much more than physical acts. It's about creating a relationship where both partners feel seen, valued, and cherished. It's a reminder that love, in its purest form, is selfless and giving. And for the men who understand this and embrace it fully, the connection with their wives becomes something truly special, something sacred and transformative. What Donna Carmen revealed that day wasn't just about intimacy, it was about love, devotion, and the power of truly seeing and understanding one another. So, if you've ever wondered whether there's something extraordinary about men who engage in oral intimacy with their wives, the answer is a resounding yes. It's not just an act, it's a powerful, emotional connection that deepens the bond and transforms the relationship in ways you might never have imagined. Donna Carmen, her face glowing in the golden afternoon light, gazed up at the vast, cloudless sky. The bells from the cathedral echoed softly in the distance, filling the air with a sense of peace and reflection. She knew that sometimes, the best way to impart wisdom was not through direct answers, but through stories that stirred the soul, stories that resonated with both the mind and the heart. With a soft, knowing smile, she finally spoke. "My dear ones," she began in her gentle yet wise voice, "sometimes, the questions you carry in your heart are not just about finding an answer, but about finding meaning and depth in your life's experiences. Let me share with you a story, one that may offer you a deeper understanding of what it means to truly love and connect with someone." The young couple before her leaned in, their curiosity piqued as they awaited her words. "Many years ago," she continued, "long before this city became what it is today, there was a time when the streets were still being shaped by the dreams and hopes of those who lived here. In those early days, there was a man named Andres. Now, Andres was known throughout the town for his kind heart, his bravery, and his unwavering devotion to the people around him. But what truly set Andres apart was the love he had for his wife, Elena. Their love was not like the fleeting passions that so many speak of. It was a love that ran as deep as the rivers that carved through the valley, and as vast as the endless sky above." Donna Carmen paused, her voice softening as she spoke of their love. Andres loved Elena with a devotion that words could hardly describe. He admired her strength, her beauty, her intelligence. She was the center of his world, and everything he did with her in mind. And yet, despite the depth of his love for her, there was a quiet question that often tugged at Andres' heart. Am I truly showing Elena how much I love her? Is there more I can do to make her feel cherished, adored, and understood in ways that go beyond the surface of our daily lives? The young couple exchanged glances, captivated by Donna Carmen's storytelling, sensing the weight of Andres' silent struggle. Andres and Elena's life together was full of joy and companionship, Donna Carmen continued. They would spend their days exploring the world around them, learning from each other, and finding happiness in the simplest of moments. But even amidst the laughter and the shared experiences, Andres felt that something more profound lay beneath the surface of their love, something he couldn't quite grasp. He adored her beyond measure, but he longed to find a way to show her just how deeply he felt, to express his love in a way that transcended the ordinary. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm glow on the ancient city, Donna Carmen's voice grew even more tender. One day, Andres found himself sitting beneath a great oak tree, pondering this very question. He thought about all the ways he had shown Elena his love, through gifts, kind words, and thoughtful gestures. But still, he wondered if there was a deeper, more intimate way to convey just how much she meant to him. That's when it dawned on him. Love isn't always about the grand gestures or the moments that everyone else can see. Sometimes, the truest acts of love are the ones that happen in the quiet, intimate spaces between two people, when no one else is watching, and when the only goal is to make your partner feel truly seen and cherished. Donna Carmen's eyes sparkled as she shared Andres' realization. He understood then that love is about vulnerability, about opening yourself up completely to the person you love, without fear or hesitation. It's about giving yourself fully to your partner, not just in the grand moments, but in the small, tender ones as well. He realized that by offering Elena his full attention, his care, and his willingness to meet her needs in the most intimate of ways, he could show her a love that went beyond words. He could make her feel truly understood, valued, and adored. At this, the young couple before Dona Carmen seemed to lean in even closer, hanging on her every word. "And so, Andres made a decision," she said, her voice growing more passionate. From that day forward, he would not only continue to shower Elena with affection in the usual ways, but he would also show her his love through the most personal, private acts of intimacy. He chose to embrace every moment they spent together, not just as a husband, but as a lover who deeply understood and cared for her desires. In those intimate moments, he made it his mission to put Elena's happiness above all else, to make her feel that her pleasure, her comfort, and her joy were his highest priorities. The couple before her seemed mesmerized by the stories unfolding, sensing that this tale held more meaning than they had initially realized. "And what do you think happened?" Dona Carmen asked, her voice filled with emotion. Elena, feeling the depth of Andres' love in ways she had never before experienced, opened her heart to him even more. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Their connection deepened, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. They found a level of intimacy that went far beyond the ordinary. It was a love that transcended mere physical acts, becoming something sacred. Andres realized that by giving himself fully to Elena, by caring for her in every possible way, he was creating a love that would last for eternity. Tears welled up in the young woman's eyes as she listened, touched by the depth of the story's meaning. The young man, too, seemed to sit in silent awe, processing the wisdom of Dona Carmen's tale. "My dear ones," Dona Carmen said gently, "what Andres discovered is that love is not just about what you say or even what you do in the public eye. True love is about those quiet moments of connection, where you give yourself to your partner completely, mind, body, and soul. It's about creating a space where both of you feel safe, valued, and understood. When a man engages in the most intimate of acts with his wife, it's not just about the physical. It's about showing her that she is cherished, that her happiness matters above all else." Her words hung in the air like a gentle breeze, filling the couple with a sense of warmth and understanding. They had come seeking answers about intimacy, but they had found something much deeper, an understanding of what it means to truly love and honor one's partner. One night, as the full moon cast its gentle glow over the quiet world, Andres felt a longing to deepen the bond he shared with Elena. Beneath the shimmering light, he took her hand and with tenderness in his voice, asked, "Elena, what can I do to make our intimacy even more meaningful? How can I show you the depth of my love in a way that will touch your heart?" Elena, her eyes filled with trust and affection, looked into his soul and responded softly, "Andres, true intimacy is not just about the physical. It's about how we connect on a deeper level, emotionally, spiritually, in how we show each other that we care. If you truly wish to please me, do so with love, patience, and the kind of attention that shows me I am cherished in every way." Dona Carmen, pausing for a moment, let the weight of Elena's words settle in the air around the young couple, watching as their expressions shifted from curiosity to quiet contemplation. Her story was not just about the surface of love, it was about its core, the essence that makes a relationship whole and enduring. Inspired by Elena's words, Andres realized that their connection could reach even greater depths if he approached intimacy with a renewed sense of care and attentiveness. It wasn't enough to go through the motions of physical affection. True intimacy, as Elena had said, required an investment of the heart. And so, he embarked on a journey of discovering new ways to love her, ways that would honor not just her body but her spirit as well. In time, Andres began to explore the powerful and delicate nature of oral intimacy. At first, he may have seen it as simply another way to express love physically. But soon, it became clear to him that this act held far more significance. It was not merely about pleasure, it was about devotion, about showing Elena that every part of her was valued, every aspect of her being was worthy of his love and attention. Andres understood that by engaging in such a personal form of intimacy, he was communicating to Elena that she was seen, appreciated, and cherished beyond words. As they shared these moments, Andres realized that it wasn't just Elena who benefited from this newfound depth in their relationship. He, too, found an unexpected joy in dedicating himself to her happiness. Each time he expressed his love in this way, it brought him a profound sense of fulfillment. Seeing Elena smile with contentment, knowing that he had made her feel adored and special, gave him a satisfaction that went far beyond the physical. It touched his heart in ways he had never imagined. Over time, Andres came to understand something even more profound. By giving so fully to Elena in this way, he was also nurturing their emotional bond. Their relationship flourished as both partners felt more connected, more in tune with one another's needs and desires. Elena, feeling deeply loved and valued, blossomed under his care. She knew that Andres loved her not just for her beauty or for the moments they shared in intimacy, but for all that she was, her heart, her soul, her entire being. This new dimension in their relationship brought them closer than ever before. What had started as a question about intimacy had evolved into a profound expression of love, one that strengthened their connection on every level. Andres realized that the act of oral intimacy, when done with love, patience, and respect, was a powerful way to demonstrate his devotion. It was a way to show Elena that she was his everything, that he would do anything to make her feel loved, respected, and happy. And in return, Andres found something unexpected: the deep, soul-filling satisfaction that comes from making someone you love truly happy. It was a feeling that transcended the physical, a reward that touched his very soul. He discovered that in giving so selflessly to Elena, he had received something far greater than he could have imagined: the joy of seeing his beloved fulfilled and cherished in every sense. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. As Dona Carmen's story came to a close, she watched as the young couple sat in reflective silence, their hearts moved by the depth of the lesson she had shared. True intimacy, she said softly, her voice gentle and full of warmth, is not just about the physical connection. It's about giving yourself fully, with love and respect, and finding joy in the happiness of the one you love. When you do that, you create a bond that goes beyond the body. It touches the heart, the mind, and the soul. The young couple, now deeply moved by Dona Carmen's wisdom, thanked her with sincere gratitude. They left hand in hand, their hearts full of a new understanding of what it meant to truly love and be loved. In that quiet night under the full moon, they had learned a lesson that would shape the rest of their lives, a lesson about intimacy, love, and the joy of selfless devotion. One serene evening, as the twilight descended upon the world and the sky turned a soft shade of indigo, Andres and Elena found themselves walking through their garden, their footsteps in perfect harmony with one another. The evening air was cool, filled with the scent of jasmine, and the leaves rustled gently as the wind wove through the branches. The day had been long, but the peacefulness of the garden was a sanctuary for their shared moments of reflection. Elena, feeling an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the life they had built together, stopped for a moment and turned to Andres, her eyes shimmering with love. "Thank you, Andres," she said softly, her voice laced with warmth and affection. "Thank you for always making me feel so cherished. I've come to realize that intimacy, true intimacy, isn't found in grand, sweeping gestures. It's in the quiet, everyday acts of love. It's how you make me feel cared for in the smallest moments. That's where I see your love the clearest." Andres smiled as he listened, his heart swelling with affection for the woman he had shared his life with. He gently reached for her hand, his thumb tracing the back of her palm, and said, "Elena, love is built on those details. It's the way we wake up together each morning, the way we listen to each other, the way we laugh over the little things. Those moments are what make our love so strong, and I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world." As they stood there in the garden, surrounded by the flowers they had planted together over the years, there was an unspoken understanding between them, a sense that their love, though already deep and strong, still had room to grow and evolve. And grow it did. Their story did not stop with the contentment they felt at that moment. Instead, it blossomed into something even more beautiful, something they would nurture with each new experience they shared. After that evening, Andres and Elena felt an undeniable pull to enrich their relationship even further. They both knew that the love they shared was a rare and precious gift, one that required attention, care, and continuous effort. So one day, they made a decision that would mark the beginning of an exciting new chapter in their lives. They would embark on a journey together, an adventure they had long talked about but never quite found the time to pursue. They decided to explore the world, to visit places they had always dreamed of but never dared to venture. This journey wasn't just about seeing new sights or collecting memories. It was about deepening their bond, about rediscovering one another in a world filled with endless possibilities. It was about seeing the world through each other's eyes and experiencing the beauty of life hand in hand. Their first destination was a small village nestled in the mountains, a place they had once read about in a travel book years ago. As they climbed the narrow, winding roads together, the air growing cooler with each step, they felt a sense of exhilaration. The mountains stood tall and majestic, and as they reached the peak, they stood in awe of the breathtaking view that stretched out before them. They marveled at the landscape, the rivers winding through the valleys, the forests that seemed to stretch on forever. And in that moment, they realized that this was more than just a trip. It was a chance to truly connect, to pause and appreciate not only the world around them but also the world they had built together. Each new destination brought with it fresh opportunities to see one another in a new light. Whether they were wandering through the narrow streets of an ancient city or relaxing on the shores of a quiet lake, every experience became a chance to learn something new about each other. They shared meals in quaint little cafes, laughed as they got lost in unfamiliar towns, and spent evenings by the fire, recounting the day's adventures. In those moments, they weren't just travelers. They were two souls rediscovering each other, finding joy in the simplicity of being together. But their travels also brought moments of reflection, where they would sit in the quiet of the evening and talk about their hopes, their dreams, and the things that mattered most to them. They realized that love wasn't just about the present, it was also about the future they were continuing to build. With each new experience, they grew more in tune with one another, more aligned in their vision of the life they wanted to lead. And through it all, their intimacy deepened, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. As they journeyed together, Andres began to understand that the love he shared with Elena was more than just passion or romance. It was about partnership, about truly seeing and understanding one another in a way that only years of shared life could reveal. He realized that the greatest gift he could give her was his time, his attention, and his willingness to continue growing alongside her. In the quiet moments, when the world seemed to fade away and it was just the two of them, Andres felt a profound sense of gratitude for the woman who had walked by his side through every chapter of their lives. One evening, as they sat by the edge of a crystal-clear lake, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of pink and orange, Elena leaned her head on Andres' shoulder and sighed contentedly. "I feel like I'm falling in love with you all over again," she whispered. "Every place we visit, every new thing we experience, it makes me see you in a different way. And it makes me love you even more." Andres smiled and kissed the top of her head. "That's the beauty of this journey," he said. "We're not just seeing the world, we're seeing each other in a new light. And as long as we're together, I know we'll keep finding new ways to love each other." Their journey wasn't just about the places they went or the things they saw. It was about the love they nurtured in every step they took, in every laugh they shared, in every quiet moment of reflection. It was about realizing that love is an ongoing adventure, one that requires patience, care, and a willingness to always find new ways to connect. And so, Andres and Elena continued their travels, each day bringing them closer together. Their story didn't end with that garden walk or with the places they visited. It continued to evolve, growing stronger with each new chapter. They discovered that love, much like life itself, is not static. It is a journey, one that unfolds with time, patience, and the quiet dedication of two people who are willing to cherish each other in every moment. In the end, their love was more than just a series of beautiful memories. It was a living, breathing connection, one that grew richer with every shared experience, every word of kindness, every act of love. And as they continued to walk through life hand in hand, they knew that their love story was one that would never truly end. it would continue to grow and flourish for as long as they walked this earth together. During one of their unforgettable journeys to the mountains, Andres and Elena were captivated by the majesty of the landscape that spread out before them as they stood at the summit. The view was unlike anything they had ever seen. Vast, untouched valleys and towering peaks stretching endlessly under a brilliant blue sky. It was a moment of serenity, a pause in time where the world seemed to stand still. As they took in the breathtaking scene, they noticed an ancient monastery nestled between the rocky cliffs. Intrigued and drawn by a quiet curiosity, they decided to venture closer. The monastery, though weathered by centuries, stood firm and welcoming, its stone walls bearing the weight of countless stories and secrets. As they entered through the creaky wooden doors, the air was thick with an aura of calm. Inside, the soft glow of candlelight flickered against the stone, casting long shadows that seemed to dance with a gentle breeze. As they wandered through the peaceful halls, an elderly monk, robed in simple attire, approached them with a kind smile. "Welcome," he greeted, his voice gentle and soothing, as though he had been waiting for them. There was something almost magical in the way he spoke, as if he could see into the very heart of their relationship. Sensing the deep bond that Andres and Elena shared, the monk invited them to sit with him in a quiet alcove, where he offered to share wisdom gained over his many years of guiding souls seeking peace and love. The monk's eyes twinkled with warmth as he began to speak. "My dear ones," he said softly, his voice rich with age and experience, "love is a journey, much like the one that has brought you here today. It is a path of endless discoveries, one that will evolve and grow with each passing moment. Every act of love, whether grand or small, is a step toward a deeper understanding of each other. And along this journey, you will learn that true intimacy comes not only from physical closeness but from emotional vulnerability, trust, and respect." Andres and Elena listened intently, captivated by the monk's words. There was something profound in the way he spoke about love, as if he were offering them a key to a deeper, more meaningful connection. The monk paused for a moment, studying their faces, before continuing. "There is a secret I have learned over the years," he said with a smile, "a secret that few truly understand. Acts of intimacy, particularly those that are often seen as purely physical, can hold within them a deeper meaning when approached with love and reverence. Engaging in something as tender as oral intimacy with your wife is not merely about physical pleasure. It is a way of honoring her, of showing her that you admire her beauty, her strength, and the essence of who she is. It is an act that transcends the physical and becomes a powerful expression of love and respect." The monk's words hung in the air like a delicate thread, weaving their way into Andres and Elena's hearts. He wasn't merely talking about the act itself, but the intention behind it, the way it could be a reflection of a man's willingness to put his partner's needs and desires first, to create a space where she feels truly seen, valued, and loved. "As you share these moments together," the monk continued, "you create a bond that goes beyond words, a bond that is strengthened by your willingness to be vulnerable and authentic with one another. When you approach intimacy with an open heart, it becomes a shared experience of trust and connection, where both of you can feel safe, loved, and cherished." Andres, who had always valued his relationship with Elena but had never considered this particular perspective, felt a sense of clarity washing over him. He realized that intimacy in all its forms was not just about closeness, but about expressing love in ways that words could never fully capture. It was about being present for Elena, about showing her that she was deserving of not just his love, but his admiration, his respect, and his devotion. Elena, too, was moved by the monk's wisdom. She had always known that Andres loved her deeply, but hearing these words made her feel a new sense of appreciation for the quiet ways in which he expressed that love. She understood that intimacy wasn't just about physical acts. It was about the tenderness and care with which those acts were carried out. It was about creating a space where both partners could feel fully themselves, fully loved, and fully accepted. After the monk finished speaking, the three of them sat in silence for a while, letting the wisdom of his words sink in. The monastery seemed to hold its breath, as if acknowledging the sacredness of the moment. Andres and Elena exchanged a glance, their eyes filled with a deeper understanding of one another. They had come to the mountains seeking adventure, But what they found was far more valuable. A new layer of intimacy, a new way to love one another that would carry them through the rest of their lives. Dona Carmen, watching the young couple seated before her, smiled softly as she told the story. She could see the wheels turning in their minds, their hearts opening to the possibility that intimacy was more than they had previously imagined. The lesson Andres and Elena learned, she said gently, is one that applies to all of us. True intimacy, real love, is built day by day, gesture by gesture. It is not found only in the grand moments or the passionate declarations, but in the quiet acts of kindness and care that we show each other. It is found in the way we listen, in the way we touch, in the way we make our partner feel seen and appreciated. She paused, her gaze resting on the young couple. The willingness to explore new forms of love, to communicate openly, and to cherish each other in the smallest moments. This is the foundation of a strong and lasting relationship. Andres and Elena discovered that true intimacy isn't something you achieve once and then forget about. It's something you nurture, day by day, with every act of love and every word of kindness. The couple in front of her nodded, their hearts filled with a sense of purpose and hope for their own relationship. They had come to Dona Carmen with questions about love, and they were leaving with a new understanding of what it meant to truly love and be loved. As they walked away, hand in hand, they knew that their journey together had just begun. They would carry with them the wisdom of the monk, the lessons of Andres and Elena, and the belief that love is a path of endless discoveries, one that they would walk together, day by day, for the rest of their lives. One warm afternoon, as the golden light of the setting sun bathed the city in a soft glow, Andres and Elena found themselves walking through the bustling streets, their hands intertwined, a quiet but unspoken understanding between them. They had always been close, sharing a love that felt easy and natural, but something about their relationship had shifted in recent days. It was as if they were rediscovering each other, finding new ways to express their affection, and reigniting the flame that had long burned between them. They hadn't always known how to keep their love so alive. In the early years of their marriage, they had thought love was about grand gestures, about sweeping moments of romance that would sweep them off their feet. But life had taught them otherwise. It was in the everyday moments, the quiet conversations over breakfast, the way Andres would gently brush Elena's hair back from her face when she was deep in thought, the way Elena would sit beside him in silence as he read, that they found the true essence of their love. One evening, while enjoying the cool breeze in their garden, Andres and Elena reminisced about the time they had visited the old monastery in the mountains. They had wandered in, driven by curiosity, and had encountered a wise monk who had shared with them the secret to lasting intimacy. They could still hear his words echoing in their hearts. True love is a journey of endless discoveries. Each small act of love, each gesture, is a step toward a deeper connection. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Andres had always taken those words to heart. He realized that intimacy wasn't about what society often painted it to be, grand, passionate moments filled with fireworks. No, intimacy was something more subtle, more profound. It was the way they learned to communicate openly and honestly, the way they spoke about their desires and needs without fear or shame. It was in the way they explored each other's emotional landscapes with tenderness and care, creating a space where they could both be vulnerable, knowing that they would never face judgment. In the following days after their encounter with the monk, Andres and Elena applied this wisdom to their own lives, determined to grow closer and nurture their bond. They discovered that intimacy wasn't confined to physical acts, but was deeply rooted in the emotional connection they shared. Andres had learned, through the monk's words and through his own experiences, that even acts like oral intimacy were not merely about physical pleasure. They were profound expressions of respect, admiration, and love. Through such intimate gestures, he showed Elena that every part of her was valuable, that her happiness and pleasure were his priorities, and that he cherished her not just as his wife but as his partner and equal. Elena, too, had embraced this new understanding of love. She realized that intimacy was not just about receiving affection but about giving it as well. She learned to listen more carefully to Andres, to understand his needs, his fears, and his dreams. In doing so, she discovered a deeper level of trust between them, one that allowed them both to let go of societal expectations and simply be themselves with one another. They were free to explore the depths of their connection without fear of rejection or judgment, knowing that their love was built on a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. As their relationship deepened, they began to see that intimacy was a constant process of growth. It wasn't a destination they would one day reach. It was a journey they would walk together for the rest of their lives. They understood that true intimacy required constant care and attention, that it needed to be nurtured and protected like a delicate flower. Each day, they would find new ways to express their love, whether it was through a kind word, a gentle touch, or simply spending time together in silence, enjoying the presence of one another. Their love became a beacon for others. The story of Andres and Elena spread throughout the city, whispered in cafes and spoken of in hushed tones among friends. People admired the way they had grown together, the way they had transformed their relationship into something that seemed almost sacred. Couples who had once struggled to communicate began to look to Andres and Elena as examples of what was possible when love was nurtured with care and patience. In time, the city itself began to change. The old ways of thinking about relationships, where love was measured by grand displays of affection or passionate declarations, gave way to a new understanding. Couples began to realize that true intimacy was not about perfection or meeting unrealistic expectations. It was about accepting each other's flaws, about standing by one another in the face of challenges, and about creating a space where both partners felt safe to express their true selves. More and more, couples embraced this new philosophy. They learned that love was not a static thing, but a living, breathing entity that needed to be fed with kindness, patience, and understanding. Arguments no longer meant the end of a relationship. Instead, they were seen as opportunities for growth and deeper connection. Trust became the cornerstone of every relationship, and intimacy flourished not because of physical attraction alone, but because of the emotional bonds that had been carefully nurtured over time. From afar, Dona Carmen observed these changes with quiet pride. She had long known that the stories she shared were more than just tales from the past. They were lessons for the present, threads of wisdom that could guide the future. With each story she told, she saw how lives were transformed, how hearts were opened to new possibilities of love and connection. It was her gift, this ability to inspire others to look beyond the surface of their relationships and to see the deeper meaning that lay within. Dona Carmen's role in the community was invaluable. Her wisdom extended far beyond the spoken word. She had a way of weaving her stories into the very fabric of people's lives, showing them how love could be lived, not just imagined. As couples throughout the city began to embrace the values of respect, trust, and compassion, the entire community blossomed. Relationships grew stronger, and people began to understand that love was not something to be taken for granted. It was something to be cherished, day by day, in both the smallest and the most significant of ways. Dona Carmen's influence reached far beyond the couples who sat at her feet, listening to her stories. It extended to families, friendships, and even the way people treated strangers. Her teachings on love and intimacy created ripples that spread throughout the entire city, touching the lives of everyone who lived there. And as the city thrived, it became a place where love was not just spoken of in fairy tales or romanticized in stories. It was lived, breathed, and felt in every interaction, in every kind word, in every gesture of compassion. The legacy of Andres and Elena, and of Dona Carmen herself, was one of love. Love that was not defined by grand gestures or fleeting passions, but by the everyday acts of kindness that brought people closer together. The city became a living testament to the power of love, a place where people learned to honor and respect one another, where they understood that intimacy was not just about physical closeness but about the emotional and spiritual bonds that connected them. And so, as the sun set over the city, casting its golden light on the streets below, Dona Carmen smiled. She knew that the stories she had told, the wisdom she had shared, would continue to live on in the hearts of those who had listened. And in that moment, she felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that the seeds of love she had planted would continue to grow, nurturing a community that had learned to live and love with compassion, respect, and understanding. Now that we've explored the depths of true intimacy, what have you learned from this story? Comment below on one thing you'll take away and bring into practice in your life. Remember, love and connection are built on trust, respect, and those intimate moments we share with our partners. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insights on love, intimacy, and personal growth.